Ever since the NBA Finals concluded with the Warriors defeating the Cavs in 5 games, a major topic of discussion has been how can the Cavs improve their roster to compete with the Warriors? One of the main acquisitions that has been discussed is Carmelo Anthony teaming up with LeBron in Cleveland so that they can compete with the Warriors. In this video, I'd like to discuss with you, is Carmelo Anthony an actual possible acquisition that the Cavs can realistically make? And even if the Cavs can acquire Carmelo Anthony, would it be able to take them to the next level and actually defeat the Warriors? Now, a 1-for-1 trade between the Cavs and Knicks for Kevin Love and Carmelo Anthony has been discussed. However, it's highly unlikely that trade could go through, as the Knicks are reportedly uninterested in Kevin Love, and it makes sense since they already have Kristaps Porzingis and they are looking to build towards the future. So this is where a third team would have to come into the mix that's able to give up assets that the Knicks would desire and be able to for this trade to go through. This is where initially I thought the Nuggets would be the perfect team that the Cavs could bring in to get the Knicks interested in giving up Carmelo Anthony. The Nuggets are one of the most youthful teams and I believe one of the most deep teams in the entire NBA. If you look at their guard positions, they have Emmanuel Mudiay, Gary Harris, and Jamal Murray. Their small forwards, they got Will Barton, Wilson Chandler. At power forward, Kenneth Faried, Trey Lyles, and then they have one of the most youthful and future stars, I believe, in this NBA, and Nikola Jokic. They are so deep and have so much assets that they could give up in order for this trade to go through. However, Paul Millsap has recently signed a 3-year, $90 million contract with the Denver Nuggets. So they've already fulfilled that need they needed at power forward, as Kenneth Faried has kind of been around the trade rumor mill the last couple of years. So they've been looking to buff that position, but they've already fulfilled that role with Paul Millsap, so it's unlikely that they'd want to acquire Kevin Love as well now. So now I believe they are out of the mix, and looking at how much money has been spent, there's not that many teams left with cap around the NBA, so there's very few teams that the Cavs could find for a third team in order to interest in Knicks. The only other possible team I could think of right now would be the Phoenix Suns. They have reportedly been interested in Blake Griffin, and after he signed with the Clippers, he's obviously off the market. And I think if the Cavs can give up Kevin Love and send him over to the Suns in order to bring in Carmelo Anthony, I think it's likely that the Suns would be willing to do that trade. They want Kevin Love in order to join the Suns would be a very nice little combination with their young talent right now with Josh Jackson and Devin Booker. So I think it is possible for the Cavs to acquire Carmelo Anthony, but what they would have to do is get a third team involved, which presumably so would have to be the Phoenix Suns, and they would have to give up Kevin Love. This is what I don't like about this trade. Even if they do acquire Carmelo Anthony, they're giving up Kevin Love. I know people have ripped Kevin Love in the past on how he's performed in the finals, yet he's still a very excellent player and fringe all-star right now. If you're bringing in Carmelo Anthony, a 33-plus Carmelo Anthony, and you're taking away Kevin Love, how much is your team really improving? I think there's still a few steps away from catching the Warriors, and this doesn't take a big enough step in order to compete next year, I still believe. So a trade, although it's possible to acquire Carmelo Anthony via trade, I don't think it's enough to do so by giving up Kevin Love in order to compete next year. The only possible way I could see an addition of Carmelo Anthony actually taking the Cavs to the next level is if they're able to keep Kevin Love at the same time. The only way this would be possible would be if Carmelo Anthony would be able to be bought out by the Knicks. And it's reported that James Dolan is uninterested in doing so. But if that's able to happen and Carmelo Anthony gets bought out, the Cavs can keep Kevin Love. That group of 4 guys seems very, 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 very much better than this year's group. And they might be able to compete with the Warriors. I still don't think that's enough to beat the Warriors, but I think now they're only a few minor adjustments away of maybe taking that next step and getting that ring next year. So Carmelo Anthony to the Cavs is possible. I think would be a very nice acquisition. And I'm thinking the Cavs should find a way to be able to bring in Carmelo Anthony without having to give up Kevin Love.